all these details are come in the concept, and afterwards when the agile planning starts, we develop the project agile charter or the project charter, and then the road mapping starts. And in the road, we create a product backlog. We list all the user stories in the backlog. We prioritize the details using Mouse score 100 points technique, and the story points. We after when the stories are being formed, we do the estimations. There are different techniques to estimations: IDLR, Fibonacci, affinity, and planning, poker, wideband, Delphi, and different.
Vakar, please mute yourself.
Okay, then there's some details to the user story, that what is needed, what is the definition of ready, definition of done, acceptance criteria, and the consented story points where we formulate out of the estimations part. And in the product backlog, we do the priority based on the high values, high value or high risk things. And the product backlog contains all of the details of the existing stories, new stories, rejected stories as well as, and we continue to keep the backlog grooming with a specialist who is capable of grooming the stories. And then there are different ceremonies like sprint planning, sprint itself, daily stand-up, sprint review, and the retrospective. In different aspects that we do in the sprint planning, we create the sprint backlog, selection of prioritized stories and things like that. In the sprint, we perform the work what that has been asked for. And the daily stand-up, that is a 15-minute time box activity. We discuss what we did yesterday, what is to be done today, if there are any roadblocks or impediments. And then we do perform the sprint review when the sprint is completed. We present only the 100% completed ones. And once these stories are the acceptance criteria, the client, if product owner or the client accepts the story, they move to the product increment. And this is a perfect area where we have the opportunity for adding new stories or rejecting any other non-needed requirements. And we take out the client, and then we perform the retrospective, where we identify the weak areas, we document the lessons learned, and there's an opportunity for capacity where we can be cautious for the next upcoming elements. And there are different artifacts that we create during the sprint. So during the agile, there's product backlog, the sprint backlog, and the product increment.
Very well done. Very well done. Good job, team one. Now, team two. G, team two.
Sir, I'll be presenting and Ankit will be talking.
Go ahead.
So, yeah. Ankit, you with me? Alright,
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So what we have mentioned here is the 4 values of the Agile on the top left. Responding to change or following the plan, customer collaboration or contract negotiation, working software or comprehensive documentation and individual interaction and processing tools. On the top right, we have mentioned about the principles, that 12 principles we have in Agile. And on the Agile roadmap, we have a vision, roadmap, release, iteration, and a daily Scrum. Then we go to the Scrum framework or Agile ceremonies, where we take inputs from the end user customers. And the product backlog is created by the product owner. After that, we go into sprint planning sessions, where we plan how much work in the current sprint we are going to do. Then we go for the sprint backlog, what we are going to do in this current sprint, and then we have sprint cycles, 2 to 4 weeks depending upon the company. Then we go for the sprint reviews to inspect the outcome and sprint and stakeholders. And after that, we do a retro where we talk about the lesson learned. Now, with that, we have 3 documents: product backlog, product goal and vision and priority, sprint backlog, which is sprint goal, known work, and product increment, accepted, user stories, implemented, and approved. And then we have 3 roles in Agile. We have a development team, we have Scrum Master, leader who serves in PM in Agile. We have product owner and voice of customer. And then on the right hand side, you will see the chart. We have burn down chart, burn up chart, task board, and Kanban board. Then we have cadence. In cadence, we have periodic, fixed. We have single cadence at the end of the project. We have multiple, but those are not sequential. And then we have periodic, which is fixed, but it's on the schedule. And periodic. And then we have sprint zero. In sprint zero, we have architecture and spike. And then we have sprint hardening and implementation. And then we're just like trying to add more.
Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. Good job, team two. Very well done. Divya, Ankit, and the entire team two. Okay, team three now. Team three, your turn is. Okay, team three is Ashok, Usman, Akib, Tarne, Vishal, Vakar, Fezan. Please. Team three. Who made it from team three?
Okay, I will share.
Yes, Ashok.
Yes. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we are. We are.
Okay, we want to assign, we are having the core value, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, working software over comprehensive document, respond to exchange, following over the plan, user interaction over the process and tool. And we are having the 12 principle, and we are having the 3 documents, sprint backlog, product increment. We are having the 3 roles, product owner, scrum master, and deployment team. And we are having the different methodology. In that, we are having the Scrum. In the Scrum, we are having the 5 event, sprint, sprint planning, daily standard, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. In the sprint planning, we are having this user story. We estimate the user story using Moscow 100-point planning poker. We are having the 3 cards, which are in 3C, card, conversation, and confirmation. We are having the estimation technique. We are having an affinity, plan, poker, ideal hour, and probability series. And in the daily stand-up, when the team meet for 15 minutes, there we discuss what we have done yesterday, what is planned for today, and is there any improvement or not. And in the sprint review, the client or product owner review the product. If it is done, it is okay, then it will go to product incremental. If it is rejected, it will go to product backlog. In the sprint retrospective, we all the team and team member and everybody sit and we do the lesson done. Where in then Scrum, we are having the information regulator like the burn up, burn down, task force, and Kanban. And we are having the other methodology where the XP, Kanban. This is what we are about to write.
Very well done. Very well done, team 3. Okay, G next team. G next team. Team 4. Okay. Team 4. Bilal, Kashif, Lindsay, Mohit, Om Prakash, Shadia, Baljeet.
Just a minute, I'm sharing my screen. Hope you're able to see my screen.
Okay, yes.
So, talking about Agile in general, to give a value to customer early in parts, customer defines the value, and then classification based upon scope and delivery. There are 4 types based upon single fixed scope, single delivery, fixed scope, multiple delivery, variable scope, fixed delivery, variable scope, delivery in parts. And then talking about Agile. So Agile is we call it an inverted triangle. So time and cost is fixed and scope varies. Talking about next 4 values of Agile: customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan, working software over comprehensive documentation, individuals and interactions over process and tools. Then talking about the 12 principles of Agile. Then comes the multiple agile practices, Scrum, Kanban, Lean, and extreme programming. Also the roadmap where we break it down into quarters and further break it down into sprints. Iterations, we can have maximum 1 to 4 weeks, mostly 2 weeks, and it's time boxed. 4 major ceremonies of Agile: daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint review, and retrospective. And daily stand-up, it's time box to 15 minutes max, same menu, same time, lead by the Scrum Master. Then talking about the 3 major questions: what did we accomplish yesterday, what did we do today, and what are you planning to do today, and what are the risks, obstacles, or impediments that we are facing. Any problems during stand-ups will be discussed at a later point. Sprint planning, sprint backlog was developed containing all the list of user stories to be accomplished in that particular sprint. Then sprint review requirements in Agile are called user story. It's a demo session where fully completed user stories are shown, and whatever gets accepted goes to the product increment. Then happens the grooming, where we revisit and revise product backlog. Sprint retrospective, lessons learned meeting. This will happen at end of every sprint on how we can improve. Then the Agile artifacts, product backlog, sprint backlog, and product increment. Then roles in the Agile team, a development team who decides on what can be done and how it will be done in each of the sprints. Then the product owner, who is the voice of the customer, they will tell us what to do. Also responsible for the product backlog. They only have the authority to stop or modify a product backlog. They collect the user stories from customers, clients, and stakeholders. Then comes the Scrum Master.
He ensures that the processes are followed up by the team members. Then comes the prioritization techniques. Moscow must have, should have, could have, and will not have, would have. And then the underpoints technique. Then comes the team prioritization based upon high value, high risk. And also talking about the team planning, 4 to 5 techniques. One is ideal hours, affinity estimation, Fibonacci series, Poker planning, and Delphi white band planning. And the criterias, 3 criterias: definition of ready, definition of done, and acceptance criterias, as well as 3 C's of user stories: card, conversation, and confirmation criteria. Going back to the left, talking about the information radiators, burn up chart, how much work is done, shows progress, um, points current status, as well as what's left behind. Burn down chart, how much work is pending. Then talking about task board, that shows the progress, Kanban, um, along with the lead time and cycle, and also the sprint zero, where architectural spike and proof of concept, as well as risk spike are discussed, and the hardening sprint as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very well done. Beautiful mind.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, Jo, next team. Ji, who will be the next team?
Okay, I'll be sharing it.
Gitika?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So after looking at Om Prakash's, like mine just looks very basic. I think Om Prakash, make sure you go last next time. Okay.
Zoom in, please. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we have the 4 values for Agile, which is customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following the plan, working software over comprehensive documentation, and then individual interactions over processes and tools. We have the 12 principles, but then we go into the practices, which is the main one is Scrum, as we know, but we also have XP and Kanban. When we go into the Scrum, we have the 5 events or ceremonies. And which are sprint, which is from 1 to 4 weeks, ideally 2 weeks, or whatever the development team really decides on. There's sprint planning, which is where scope and backlogs are discussed and developed. We have the daily stand-up, which is about a 15-minute progress discussion meeting where we discuss if the work was completed that decided on yesterday, what the goals are for today, and if there's any barriers. Then we have the sprint reviews, which is the inspection by product owner. We have the product backlog grooming with the Moscow 100 points, Monopoly, and Kano systems that we have. Then there's also sprint retro, which is the lesson learned from that specific sprint. We have the 3 documents, the definition of done, the definition of ready, but we also have the product backlog and the sprint backlog and the acceptance criteria. The 3 roles are product owner, which is the voice of the customer. We have the development team. They are experts, they're accountable, they're self-organized. And then we have the Scrum Master, who is like the servant leader. He pretty much removes barriers, provides the tools that are needed to make sure the development team is successful in reaching the goals. Our 4 information radiator are the Kanban, which one of the ones that we've really focused on is figuring out this bottleneck. There's the burn up chart, which helps us understand the work that has been done. The burn down chart, which is the work that's remaining. The task board, which is kind of like a simple to-do checklist type of board. The concepts are the time box. We have the team, which is approximately from 8 to 12 members, and then if we fail, we want to fail as early as possible.
Very well
so
done.
we can.
Very well done. So you covered everything. Why you were getting that his one is it was more colorful, but it is good one. G, next team. Last
The team
team.
did a really good job.
Yeah. Last team. Kavita,
Yeah, this
Asem,
is
Jia.
Kavita.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to share. Okay, yeah, ours is kind of basic. So in Agile Scrum, we talk about 4 Agile